we go.
I can't explain. Like, it seems to be trying to correct.
By making it angled? Is
Yeah.
it angled?
No, see,
Your
like,
phone looks angled.
it is. But, like, if you try to do it straight, see, how does that make sense? So you have to put it at some, like, weird angle.
Not that angle. Oh my goodness.
You see?
That is honestly, I've never seen anything so bizarre, I don't think.
See, so it tries to correct itself.
Well, are we even streaming?
Oh, I don't know.
There we go. There we are. Oh, shoot.
Uh-oh.
Gotta turn my volume off. There we go. Okay, now I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm still getting my phone processed down.
that's good enough.
Oh yeah, it's Halloween.
That's good enough. Can everybody hear us okay? And then there's... Okay, that's working.
Okay.
Did anybody...
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I don't know about hearing us. I've got some yeahs and yeses. Patrick says I can hear you.
Okay.
Matei says audio is fine. So
I changed the... this is such a minor thing, but I changed the little audio widget, I don't know what you call it, in OBS so that it always looks for the Yeti mic rather than just the system audio, so that we never have that issue where we have to go in and change it. So
that's good.
That's
I
all
should
done.
turn on lights.
Yes.
Let me go do that.
So I'm going to tell you that ahead of time that we have been experiencing the fallout of Santa Ana winds. I was hoping that we would be gone for most of it while we were in Maine, which we were. But nevertheless, now we have the cold and the allergies. The Santa Ana winds make it warmer, which is lovely. But now it's back to being cold. But we also have the fallout of allergies. So I'm just going to let you know that there might be times where one or both of us need to pop off stream. But
I feel like you more than me.
Probably.
The heat had not kept up, and so I apologize for that. It needs to be on right now.
Yeah.
So that way David doesn't freeze.
Yeah, it's okay now. It's okay. Like, I'm feeling all right. It's daytime. The sun is out. That makes me happy. It's not super cold, so it's okay. But anyway.
Mateis. That is very concerning. I hope you're okay.
Oh, that's not good. I wanted to mention a couple things. One, a big hello to our new patron and longtime friend, Amanda Furrow. For those of you who might be newer to conlanging, Amanda Furrow is one of the... it's hard. You don't want to say one of the original conlangers, but one of the conlangers back from the original days of the conlang listserv, back from the late '90s, early 2000s. The creator of Mareki, who is just a wonderful conlanger and a good friend. So I just wanted to say hi. That I saw you. We were on vacation when the notification came in about you being a new patron, and hello, Amanda. It's been a long time. Big hugs for you. So I wanted to mention that, and then wanted to talk about the poll, just to get that done.
Quickly, though, to address Bubba's question, it is slowly in the works. I have been very busy. I have my stuff done. David has his stuff done. We have all the stuff from you all. We just have to find the time to record the episode, basically. And we have not yet. And I don't know that it's going to be today because I am up against a major deadline, which means it'll probably get recorded tomorrow and then put live after that.
Yeah.
Which may still be tomorrow, but like for our friends not in time zones adjacent to ours, that means you probably won't get it until the 2nd, because it'll probably be tomorrow evening before it actually goes up. So
Yeah.
that's that update. But in other news, my textbook is one step closer to being finished.
Yeah.
Woo. Okay, so that was that David poll.
Yeah.
I am excited to find out which of these variants captured the interest. Because you had asked me my opinion, and you had actually had several more options, and I literally approved them all, and so we ended up choosing from the very many options and reducing it, and now I'm excited to find out what patrons thought.
Yeah, and I think that I really liked all the options too, and I think that the patrons did as well. But ultimately, they all got behind one option, which I found interesting.
When you say ultimately they all, do you mean unanimous?
No.
Oh.
Everyone got a vote, but
Okay.
it was kind of like there was a four-way tie for last place.
Were they pity votes?
No, actually, at the beginning of this poll, because I think what happened, it started off with lots of variability, the way a lot of these
Sure.
polls do, but I think there was kind of a meeting of the minds, possibly on a separate Discord server where they all hash things out. And there was maybe a lone dissenter for each option.
Okay. Also, thank you, George.
Yeah. So, anyway, what am I doing? Oh, right. So to go over the options, we're looking at this character. So this line just features a bunch of characters. Don't worry about those. We're looking at this character for each one, and it was for the damn glyph. I didn't include the original image.
Oh, my brain misparsed that. Yes. Yes. The noun down.
Yeah, I didn't include the original image, but
It
we
was
tried
a river
something.
with the little
We
dam
tried
built.
something originally, and it wasn't gonna work. This was it, and it looks good there, to be honest. But just its smaller sizes, it's really hard to see the spaces.
Yeah.
So we decided to do something different. We did A and B. We did a couple options where we have the sides of the river, kind of across, and then the line in the middle for the dam for A, and without the line in the middle for B. So those were two options. Another one was to do an entirely different take, remove the X, which was in there in the original stylized variant of the dam. Remove the X and just have the line in the center, and it's much more simplified, much more stylized. Another one was to make the whole thing a bit thicker, and so we have three variations kind of on this shape. One where it looks like there's kind of serifs on the top and bottom, and then there's just a hash in the middle. Another one where there's 3 lines horizontally extending over 3 lines vertically. And then another where it just becomes a box. So those were the options. And as I said, there was like not a 4-way tie, there was a 5-way tie for last place. I mean, not like I went through and counted it exactly, but it was just visually, you look at them and it's like, oh yeah. And then one option was way, way, way out in front of all the others, and that was C, bar die.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So that's good. A little simple, but it's good for Pa, which is a very basic character. And so with that,
Well, and I had told David, I actually
back to
liked
that,
all the
yeah.
designs that he came up with so much that, there may be other images that sort of work for some of those shapes. And so even if we don't have, that glyph exactly resuscitated, something very close to it, because
so,
I was very happy with what David came up with.
So this was the original. And this is kind of like my reproduction of Jesse's drawing, where there was kind of like these, hashes in the middle of a river going this way. And so like originally I was kind of stylizing it like this. And that was before we kind of came up with our final style, I think. And so I was trying to do this or this with the final style, and it just wasn't quite working. So anyway, that's how we got to barred I. Right, and then right now the hotkeys are working, and we're gonna take our first official LangTime Studio break. Be about half hour, 45 minutes, and then we'll come back and get to it.
Is it
In the
nap
meantime,
time?
enjoy some ads. There was when I went to pull up the stuff from YouTube to get our stream started for today, there was one of these little banner things that they put up sometimes. Often it will be for like, hey, take this survey to help us improve YouTube. This time it was like in it was something like, at first I thought like this was some a way to promote engagement, but when I reread it, it was like something called introduce mid-roll. It was like mid-roll something, and it improves
Oh,
ad revenue by 20%.
yeah, I
And then I
saw
was like,
that.
what the heck is this? And so I looked it up, and it's ads that play in the middle of a live stream. Like it uses some sort of AI to predict when there's downtime, and it
Wow.
just throws an ad in there. And I was like, yeah, that would really improve LangTime Studio, wouldn't it?
The amount of downtime that I think
I
AI
know.
would be like, nothing's being said, ad. But Miles is right. We could have so many Zyrtec ads, maybe
Yeah.
some Claritin.
And
What are some other
and
companies we could support as we sneeze?
it would really, I think, improve the watcher's experience, because it's like, I mean, they constantly complain that it's like, you're not doing anything, you're not saying anything. No, it could be like a little advertisement to entertain them. And then they might think about what products they might purchase. Yes, I will go and buy that right away.
It'd be
Anyway,
really funny
now for Zyrtec.
if every time you sneezed, like AI like inserted an allergy ad. That would be kind of perfect.
Yeah.
You're right, Bubba, because I have the live stream playing on my phone, and so if an ad came up, I would probably start a conversation with David about the ad that's on my screen, and it would indeed derail things. Um, it'd be great. Ooh, Kopiko should have an ad. Benadryl doesn't put me to sleep, but it does put David to sleep, so that would be bad. Um, with nonstop ads, yeah. Yeah, I never thought I would prefer to see pharmaceutical ads on TV, but quite frankly, the pharmaceutical ads right now are a relief from all the political ads. I'm like, oh, thank God. Let's bring on the drugs. Okay.
Really though, like if there, I could actually see doing an actual sponsored Copico ad on here. It's like the only one that would make sense.
The only one that we would endorse as Langtimers.
Yeah.
Unless some of the like software developer people, like Graham made an ad for Lexergy or something, and then
Ooh.
we'd be like, yes, watch this brief ad from Lexergy. That would make sense. Okay, David.
There's
So
Pa. Oh.
I'm
Yep.
gonna put these as old
All right.
notes.
Now, I want to discuss. I want to discuss something that I think Teth has brought up on our Discord about typography. There are a couple of things that you do with, especially the Roman font, in order for typefaces to be more visually balanced. For example, circular shapes tend to be slightly taller, extending above whatever the X is or the top is, and below the writing line to appear to be the same size as those that have straight tops and bottoms. Couple of things like that. One of them is that X shapes are actually crosses of lines that are not straight. And I wanted to show you what that looked like. Also, there was a comment, it was Yoni, made the comment about how The X shape here looks a little bit different from the rest because it has different terminations. This is true, but if you watched our stream last week, you could see I was just having a nightmare of a time trying to create an X that actually had our serifs on there. This is the only one that worked. Now, let's see what would happen if we went ahead and did this. So in order to do this, here's our line. Yes, Jess?
Oh, I was just looking at you.
Why? Me? Exactly.
Well, I'm waiting for you to finish where this is
Hold on a
going,
sec.
because then I have so many questions about upcoming terms that we need to make for Sovale.
Yeah.
Um,
1676. That's a weird. It's a weird length for that. Oh wait, what's 1700 minus negative 200? It's 1900, right?
1900.
And half of 1900 is 850? No,
950.
950. And 950 plus negative 200 is 750.
Plus, not minus negative 200. Plus negative 200 would be 750.
So here, what we're
Ooh,
going to do,
you can't do this to my brain.
we're going to pop those bad boys in there. And
Oh, that's right. For viewers not in our country, your time zone may have shifted, may not have shifted yet.
oh, really?
I don't know.
Can you shoot on your phone? Maybe can you put an announcement on Discord? Oh yeah, next week
Yeah.
we're gonna shift.
But we are next this weekend. Our time is changing. Oh, Mateus posted it in the Discord. Thank you, Mateus. Our time shifts this weekend, and so depending on when your time shifts, we may be just catching back up to normal time for you over the weekend. Or if yours doesn't shift or shifts after the weekend, then be aware of that. But we will be changing time this weekend, and I will gladly take my extra hour from the day.
Does anybody remember what what angle this was? Because I don't remember. We need to do something to get that to. Oh wait. Oh right. Of course, the angle would be different because of this stupid thing. Crap. Does anybody remember from? As I need to do the same thing. I thought it was 38.8. Does anybody remember what angle we were shifting things by to get that thing?
No, I thought you had it written down somewhere.
Well, that would be a smart thing to do. I'm a smart guy, so I'm sure I did that. Did not. Did not. Well, always just do it the hard way. Let's try 38.8. That is 38.8 versus 39.8. Let's see what happens if we go 39.8. Oh.
Yeah, we do.
Well, that did the trick.
We do need to start writing this stuff down.
I guess it was just 39.8. That's nice. Okay, 39.8 it is. And now, negative 39.8. All right, now let's put them together. Ooh, how do we do that? Think like that, right?
What's that?
Don't worry, I got it.
Sure.
495, 495, 831, 831. All right, so now the question is, let's put this mostly in the middle. I think this needs to be at 750, right? And then we'll just set the side bearings equal to 0. Oh, I see. 1200. That's what we did. Wait, how did I do that?
I don't know.
I put that thing at 0, 1200 and this thing at 600. Help me, logic. How does this work?
I wish I could say I've been listening. Sorry. I do have some ideas, though. I'm coming up with ideas for the names. The terms, rather.
Oh, wait, you can't do that. You can't do that. Crunky bunkus. You can't do that because they're not uniform width.
Did you say crunkus bunkus?
No, I said crunky bunkus.
Crunky bunkus.
That's it's. So this thing's got to be at 600. And if that's the same, that's at 1178. Well, actually, I don't know. I actually have no idea how to make this X the same size. There's some math way to do it.
Hey, TJB.
Anyway, the whole point of this is that essentially this thing was kind of supposed to look like it's somehow more even than this one. This one's supposed to look like it's fatter in the middle, and this one's supposed to look like it's approximately the same in the middle. I'm not sure if it's exact because I brought it both for the straight line. I brought it in 10, and I'm not sure if I was supposed to do that more or less. It's kind of looking like less. I don't know. Anyway. Let's see. It doesn't look like anybody's got anything helpful to add. Though I too believe in Magpie. Anyway, I'm just gonna pop a quick yellow on there and just ignore it, and move on to other happier things. Yeah.
Can I interest you in some chat about potential names?
I would love to hear about that.
So, I was trying to think for the Warriors, we've got a 1 and a 3-star.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ideas I had, or the only idea I've had for each, is for the 1-star warrior to be called the tail slapper, because this beaver just uses their tail to slap their opponent silly.
Mm-hmm.
And that would just come out as labise, which is like tail slap plus but I don't know if that's too close to the 1-star or 2-star engineer abigalose, because it's built with the abi and se, but used in different ways.
Let's take a look at
And
that.
so I wanted your opinion on that. And then my idea for the 3-star warrior was like a compound that means club arm, because like this beaver is known for their strong arm. Because who needs a club if you've got biceps like those? Is what I put.
Okay, give me 1 second because I think I need to update things. Did we have a word for the 2-star engineer?
Yeah, we have them all. We have all 3 engineers done.
Help me. What's the first one?
The 2-star engineer is Avigalose, Avigalose. And it comes from Avi is to pat with the tail. Ga is and. Lo is to slather. And then se is the nominalizer, the agent.
Okay.
One. And so it's a beaver known for quick and dirty solutions, more likely to fill a hole in the wall with toothpaste than to actually fix the hole. That kind of thing.
All right. And then we have Mahawuk, is that right?
Square paw, yep.
And Mahawakal?
Yes, the great square paw.
Do we have any others?
No, those are the only 3. And so I was trying to come up with some ideas to get us started for what vocabulary we may need.
Because I didn't have them entered on every sheet here. Okay. And so for the tier 1 warrior, say it again.
Well, I was just trying to think of like, if I were not a great warrior, how might I fight as a beaver? And it's like, you got your tail, it can slap hard. And I'm just picturing this little warrior turning around and like with the tail.
Yeah. That's going to be their special ability.
Oh, that's their special ability. So maybe that needs to be actually.
Oh no, it's fine. But like
warrior.
But the idea is that the way that their kingdom ability is going to work is that they hit with the tail, and they can push somebody 1 square when they hit them. So it'll be a pretty cool one.
Okay. But that would come out as Davise, because Avi is to pat with the tail. If you add the augmentative prefix to it, it becomes Davi, which is like a tail slap instead of just a tail pat. And then say is the agent of.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Okay. And then club arm was my idea for the 3-star warrior. Just thinking of like this beaver with like.
Yeah, I really like that.
Mom tattooed on the upper arm. Maybe.
All right.
Maybe a leather jacket.
Yeah. And how is that going to work? Club arm?
Yeah, it would pattern, I think, like square paw, which is just, noun.
Paw square?
Yes. So it would be arm club. And of course, we don't have, I don't think we have either of these words.
Oh. Well, okay. In that case, that's where you're headed, it sounds like.
Right, but I wanted to also just talk about the rogue quickly. Because we only have 1 rogue, a 3-star, and so I was thinking of something to do with trap, like a trap layer, trapper. Because I think at a 3-star they wouldn't be quite so stealth as say the 5-star or like the possum's known for moving like whispers. So it's like I kind of wanted to focus on what the rogues do beyond just being able to get through things, and that's that they lay traps.
Yeah.
And so
sounds good.
Something like that. Okay, and so part of that is going to depend on whether the word we come up with for trap is inherently a noun or a verb. Because if it's a verb, then trapper makes more sense. But if it is a noun, then, a verb to go with trap would make more sense. Whether you build traps, lay traps, leave traps, whatever verb would make most sense, that would work. So part of that is just what we come up with here. And that means I need you all to help. You're right, George. It is very fitting for a beaver. Oh, that's amazing. And so, all right, so we've got
I think it would make much more sense as a verb. It might be a complex verb, but it's like I see the beavers as being really good at doing things like, you know, the pit with the wooden spikes, or like the little lasso on the ground with a carrot. Yep.
We both did that at the same time. Jinx.
Yeah. To talk briefly about, you know, the theory. I know I've mentioned this before, but, you know, there are a couple of big inspirations for this game. One is obviously Shining Force. The other is World of Warcraft. And there are some things, there are a number of features for this game. And there are a number of features that used to exist that are gone. And one of the things I loved about this game and wanted them to expand on was, of all the various classes you could be, one of them was a priest. And like originally in the game, I think there were 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe there were 5. Maybe there were 5 different types of priests that you could be. As I recall, that would have been undead, troll, human, dwarf, and gnome. I think those were the original ones. Anyway, each of them came with a unique ability, and this unique ability was tied specifically to whether, you know, to your race, as they called it in the game. So that if you were a dwarf priest versus a troll priest, you actually had one ability that was different and was special just to you. I loved that. I thought it was incredible. And that's what I wanted to do with everything in this game. So that, you know, especially by the expansion, there's going to be 2 different 3-star warriors, for example. But they will be unique and different because of the, you know, inherent abilities that they have. Anyway, so I wanted to do that with this. And ideally, it would be so cool to just further customize. Like, it would be so cool if, because I mentioned this, and the question is, does it become too difficult? You know how, like, all the different bards, they have their song cards, right? And they all do the same things, but it would be cool if each one, the songs were called different things, you know?
That would be a lot, but yes.
It would be a lot.
Also a lot for players to keep up with if songs have roughly the same ability but different names. That would be difficult. Mm-hmm. And yeah, TJB Magpie beat me to it. I was waiting for David to finish before answering, but yeah, we just use pages. Mm-hmm. If you saw David entering some game-related vocab, that is on a Google sheet, but that's not for our languages. That is just for the game itself. That is the ultimate goal of all of our LangTime creations here, is to help David on this amazing game that he is working on.
Why is there a black bar for your thing on the left? No, right. No, left.
Where? What? Oh.
That's weird, isn't it?
That is weird. I don't know, David. Is the window just not expanded?
No, the window's expanded.
Then I don't know. It's just like part of my screen is not big enough.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
All right, so...
Yeah. I need to decide what glyph I'm doing next. And I think this might be easy, but and then we have this seaweed one. And so ultimately that was why we had to decide if, you know, I know what to do. I know what to do. To get a true comparison.
I have an idea for club.
Yeah.
Either a diminutive, which we have not yet created.
Oh, that's a shame.
Or the tool prefix for nouns, which we have created, added to the noun log.
A what that we have created?
Tool prefix.
Oh, so a log tool.
Yeah, so like Hlapuka could be a club.
It's pretty long for your ultimate goal.
It is. Do we have... I want it to be bigger than a stick. I don't think we have like... We do have a branch, but that would be Hlamati. No matter what, that would be 3 syllables.
Yeah.
Um,
Wasn't Tall named after Matisse in the first place?
the branch was Matisse.
We have Mat and Mati. They're both named after Matisse. And they're not related to each other.
Well, we do have stick, which I don't know that it's going to exist in its modern form.
Oh, key. Yeah, it's just an article.
And so Hlaki could be club.
Yeah.
And that would be 2 syllables, better than the 3 syllables. If you like that, David.
Yeah.
Okay, so club is going to be Hlaki, which I'm going to create an entry for in a moment.
780.
I'm verifying that we do not have a word for arm, and we do not. And so that'll be one to make momentarily. But first, I will take this. Oh, how fun. So hla actually originally comes from tail. And for some reason that is just delighting me. H-A-K, club, key, stick,
All right.
key,
Put that there.
key, and
Yeah, I think that's right.
I think... I just need an example of an I noun to figure out.
There we go.
What happens if you are a noun ending in an I? Me. Okay, it becomes E. E. Okay, so Raki. And then Raki. Click. Okay.
All right.
That out. So now we have an entry for club Raki.
Now we have our first decision point.
Ooh.
The question is, does the bottom look better enough from the top to warrant this chicanery?
One moment, and I will actually look at my screen.
I'm actually going to reduce it to
Keep.
size.
Oh, I don't see it. Yeah, that is way too small for me to give you any opinions. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're right, Bob. I think I may have the dialect of the land beavers. We're a little lost. We're building little mounds on the ground. And
How about now?
it's
We're
not
looking at the
helpful.
X.
Has it been biggened? Or we're supposed to be looking at it small?
It doesn't really matter, but essentially the X on
asked
top is normal, the X on bottom has been thingerized.
top and bottom. I have one line.
Well, golly shucks.
And yeah, Juno, this is small, so that's why I'm like holding my phone up closer to me. I don't see a difference between those X's when it's small. If it's big, I may see it, but as of right now, it looks like I'm looking at the same two things. Like I so want to just like like pinch my screen and zoom out, zoom in. I mean,
The top X should look a little thicker.
I put my vote in.
It's really wild.
Right, Mateus? Oh, bye, Bubba. Enjoy dinner.
Oh, it's the X. You're just looking at the X. Where's Toothus when you need him? Well, of course, if you zoom in, it's going to be easier to see it. It's supposed to help when it's zoomed out.
Nothing happens with.
Can you change your vote after you vote on a YouTube poll?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, I've zoomed in now. See the difference?
Just a second. My vote's the same. And then after you're done with that, I'm ready to talk with our viewers about a different decision.
Here, hold on a sec. I wanna show.
I think we got all the votes we can get, plus a couple extra.
Yeah.
And it's pretty clear.
I want to show you something. This is Noto Sans. All right. Noto Sans is, I consider it to be the definitive sans font. This is the one that Google created, the Noto series, that has all of Unicode. And not only that, they've tried to, in incorporating all of Unicode, they try to create every single character in a style that is authentic to the style of the font, so it looks like a unified style, while also staying true to the original writing systems. A very, very difficult undertaking. It's honestly, it's a wonderful font, and they did both a sans and a serif. But if you think about a sans, it should be pretty uniform and even. But look at this. All right, here's this X, right? Now I want you to watch the thickness as we go down. So right now it's at 165.9. As you get closer to the center, look at that. It's 160. So even though this just looks like two straight lines, right? They're not straight. They and then, going the other way.
Boy, now I can't unsee that.
Yeah, going the other way, they get bigger. They get both of these lines get shorter, or they get skinnier as you get to the center, and then they get bigger as you go out. And that is supposed to make it feel more balanced, as opposed to if the lines were the same width.
I have a hole in my sock.
Which sock is it?
My left sock.
No. My goodness.
It's just one of my regular little socks. It's not a big deal. One that, in fact, I had thrown out. Do you remember? I threw one sock away because it had a hole in it. Now I can throw another sock away because it has a hole in it. And now I should be back down to an even number of socks. Okay, so yeah, that is wild. As a side note, I prefer Noto Serif.
Oh yeah, I prefer.
I mean, I love the Noto fonts in general. It's they are great. But yeah, the serif one, it's fun. I like it.
Yeah, I prefer Noto Serif as well because I prefer serif fonts. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what it is, but younger people seem to prefer. They seem to have totally opposite reactions to sans and serif as we do. I consider serif fonts to be more formal more stylized, more professional, and a bit older, you know. And I think that the only thing that younger people agree with that on is that they look older. They consider sans serif fonts to be more professional, which is crazy to me.
See, to me, a sans serif font, the best way to use a sans serif font is just for like the titles or headings to set it apart from the serifed body. But I want like the text that I'm reading, I want it to be serifed.
Yeah. Great.
But I do like the look of like a header that is sans serif, and then you go into the serif font. But only if the sans serif font is either the same font just without the serifs, or if it's like a very similar looking one. When it's like such a different sans serif font from the text itself, that throws me off. And yeah. Ragdoll also had to throw out a left sock. My goodness. Juno, get out of here.
Magpie suggests serif is better for printed stuff and sans serif for screens. I still disagree. I prefer serif for screens as well.
I feel like my eyes just move across the screen or page, no matter what I'm reading, so much better when it's got the little on it. I like it.
I think for Toothus, though, we're going to go ahead and we're going to roll with this one. So our seaweed word, what was that again? Like, it ended up being river weed, is that right?
Or like
river weed, pond weed.
Seaweed.
So it's
Woos.
VOO.
VOO is the yes.
And how do we spell that? Is it BHU? All right, so there we go. We're doing it.
Okay, as David is doing that, we need a root meaning arm. And what's kind of cool about our beavers is it makes sense to have, not all animals does it make sense to have a distinct basic root that refers to the, arms versus legs. But for beavers, it really does, because they're not only are their paws at the ends of their limbs so different for their hands versus their little feet, but the way that they stand and do things with front versus back legs, it really makes sense that they would have just an old basic root meaning arm, and we don't need to be any fancier than that. Because club is a 2-syllable word, chlaki, we want arm to be short. We don't want to get this too long, so I would think a 1-syllable root for arm would be called for. I think it'd be kind of cool to get a nasal in there. So if I remember correctly, if we end a word or a syllable in a voiceless nasal, it becomes a nasal vowel, right?
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
By the way, I have a theory now. I think if I switch between scenes on OBS, I think that disables the hotkey. So that's my working theory. But I'm paying careful attention to your word for arm, and I want to make some suggestions, because I can think of how it would immediately become a glyph. Like, I don't even need to draw it. But if the arm is kind of like, kind of like this thing,
David showing off his club.
I can see it become a V shape, which would just become like a U. Nope. U shape. Yeah. So ending with a nasal vowel is fine. Let's try to have it.
Right, Mateus? I say as I smile really big.
Let's try to have it start with something that we haven't used yet.
What haven't we used, David? I can't see that. That's way too small.
Lots and lots of things. Ba, bi, ta, ti, tu, di, do, ku. You like this?
I think you're starting to sing. Ba, bi, ti, ta, do, di, do.
Fi, vi, si, zu.
Well, we've already got chla to follow it, and we've got, avi showing up a lot, so I want to stay away from ba. Or V, I mean.
Nothing starting with N. So we haven't done na, ni, or nu.
Nulaki, nachlaki.
And so this would be, right, because it's
club arm.
Arm, club.
Yeah,
right?
because arm comes first.
And then it was the word for arm that was going to have the nasal vowel, right?
Yeah, that was an idea.
Non laki.
It was just an idea.
I do have Lexergy open. Let's go take a look at Lexergy and see if there's any kind of interplay when the nasal vowel precedes the hla, because I'm curious about that.
Or if anything happens to the hla in general. I actually don't know if anything, would happen.
Okay, there's that. And it's just hlaki, right?
Yeah, because it's the hla prefix, and I'm
Yeah.
going to double check that chart right now with ki as the noun.
It would just be non laki. So the L voices, it looks like it doesn't matter if it's, maybe, let's try if it's suited. What do we say when they're suited? They're the same. They're in the same place of articulation. Need a voiceless N.
I was thinking about like suits of cards, and I was like,
yeah,
what?
essentially. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is on the screen for everybody. Let me scoot it over. Okay, no, it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter what the voiceless nasal is. It's not going to have any effect on the L.
Other than voicing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and that voicing happens after it becomes nasal. Essentially, the hla is in between two voice things, the vowels. And so that's why it becomes a la. And so, yeah, so it doesn't matter. So, like, nam could be arm, nan, or a nang. Nang. I kind of like that, nang.
No.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And that's going to come out as na, nasal.
Let me just double check that there's no chicanery. Yeah.
Okay.
And Engma voiceless. Non-lucky. I like that. Non-lucky.
I gotta figure out how to do this voiceless velar nasal.
Okay, and so then that means that...
Gotta find one.
That means
there it is.
that arm is going to be here. I'll go ahead and essentially draw what I was thinking over here. I was thinking, a little beaver arm. Kind of like what's on there. What's the word for it that we know because of Languagist? For the triskelion?
Oh, Triskelion.
The Triskelion, yeah. So it's going to be like the arm that's on the Triskelion for the beaver flag. And so then that just like becomes something like that, and then that would end up getting stylized like that. And so that shape is basically already done, and so that will be na, which is good because that's a common syllable, and that is a very easy shape for that. So just take that, paste it here, change the color, flip it, make sure that those are pointing the correct way.
Looking
No,
for
it
a
needs-
good entry to
needs to
copy over for this.
Needs to be flipped like that.
Oh, I will take this one.
1200, and that one's real skinny, but this one, how wide is that? 800. This one is 800, but this one is 1000. Well, what's this? Let's make it the width of this.
What is this,
1,000.
David?
All right, so we're gonna make this. Okay. No, wait, not 1,200. Wait, no. Wait, no. Sorry. There we go. 1,000. And now set the side bearings. Boom. Done. All right, another blip down. Another little break, but I've done something. We've done something.
Yay!
I think that we should celebrate.
And when you sit back down, you can update the spreadsheet for the 2 warriors.
Yay!
We've got 2 warriors. Yay! Okay, we're going to be celebrating. So if you have Kopiko, get it out, get ready. If you don't have Kopiko, choose your favorite thing to reward yourself with. We all get treats. Oh. Mateus is threatening to put Patrick in a timeout.
Oh.
Cheesy puns. Woo!
and Mateus can, of course, since Mateus is a moderator, and Patrick is not.
Yes, Patrick lost moderating abilities.
Oh, Patrick, we love you so much.
We really do.
Yeah. Okay. There we go.
Goodness, mine is not wanting to open. I'm so sorry. This
Kopiko.
noise is never ending. I can't get it open.
Kopiko, the noise of friendship. I have to say, if Jonathan is here, because I think it's Jonathan that complains the most, right? It's not like I have no sympathy. There is currently a Starbucks commercial going on that I hate. Oh my God, I hate it so much. It's just zoomed in images of the entire coffee production process and the noises that it makes. And, it's kind of ASMR, but I have to explain that when this ASMR came out, I immediately recognized it. It's like, oh yeah, that's the thing I hate. And it shocked me that people were like listening to these things on purpose because they liked them. It's like, no, that was the name of something I really, really, really hate. And so,
Like ASMR in general, or
Yeah.
like specifically? Oh.
Oh, hate it. Like all the things that they're describing, hate it. Oh.
I don't know this commercial. I need to look it up.
Oh, I've shown it to you. We've seen it several times, and I've commented on it. It ends with the person sipping coffee, which to me is one of the sounds that's like, it's near the top for things I hate. Like it's up there with nails on a chalkboard. Misophonia.
Oh, David.
Yeah.
So Davise, and Nolaki. We've got Club Arm and Tail Slapper. Warrior 1 and Warrior 3.
Yeah. I think I already did the first one. But this one is non-lucky. And so let's put it there, and let's put it here. Excellent. Wonderful. So exciting, making real progress there. Now, Mateus found the commercial.
I will say though, like there are some noises generated through like some ASMR type things, but it's really more background noise. Like especially during quarantine, I found things that would play like the sound of a coffee shop, so that way I could just feel like I was around people.
That's kind of nice.
And that was really quite lovely. Meg? Magpie, you heard trick-or-treaters upstairs?
We're on the West Coast. 3 hours from now is 6 p.m. and it's getting dark real early now.
Just feels like trick-or-treaters don't start until at least 7.
I think I'm going to do this one. So, originally it was going to be an R-like shape, but the thing is we don't actually have anything. That's just this shape. So that's real low-hanging fruit.
Can we point out that your page just had "rawr" on it?
Oh yeah. So that's going to be because we have that word.
Oh, Magpie, yeah, you're right. Little kids, okay.
For head already.
All right, so Magpie, you must be in a basement of some sort. Otherwise, yeah, people are right. Like, or maybe you're on like a first floor apartment and trick-or-treaters went to the upstairs apartment. Otherwise, yeah, are they coming through your upper windows?
Easy. Another one down.
I gotta think. I'm thinking about to trap. Oh, you are in the basement. Okay. So that makes sense. Why trick-or-treaters would be upstairs. Because, like, if we heard trick-or-treaters upstairs right now, that would be quite frightening. Thinking about to trap. So, David, entertain people while I think and enjoy my Kopiko.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be...
I think I've almost exhausted everything I can do from my notebook without moving on to yours. The only one I haven't is this one. Which is kind of a tough shape now. But I think this is more or less what it's going to look like. Kind of weird. I'm going to give it a shot. I just don't know how it's going to work. So I is... M?
Yeah, because that comes from me, I think.
Me, M-I. Did we already do that? We already did that. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like what I did there. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's genius. Oh, all right, Jess. I definitely need your notebook now.
And the only thing is there's something on the top of this page. If you show it, it's potentially
Understood.
not good. But the other page is all LangTime stuff or stuff they can see.
Oh, I have an idea. Do we have a word for acorn yet? Like an actual word?
I don't think so. Let me look in here. No. I almost immediately said the word that it is in my little squirrelish language.
Oh.
Because I know the word for acorn.
Because essentially it's just going to be that. So I think we're going to do that. All right. We need, do you still need this? Or can I hold on to it for a little bit?
You can hold on to
Okay. We need a word for acorn. Got plenty of possibilities here.
Can you remind... So we're not looking at your notebook, although I can't...
Yeah.
The screen is so small I can't see the little things anyway.
Oh, I guess I can put it up. Acorn. Something woody and nutty. Maybe an L or a B.
I was just thinking B-I is available. Ba, I don't know, but B, I think, is cute.
Ba and B are both available. I think you're right that B is cute, so that's a good possibility. let's do it. So let's go with acorn in B. And we already know what the shape is going to look like, so I'm going to
Is it just going to be BI, or do you want a coda consonant on that?
Oh, it can be coda consonant. It could also be CBC, CV, or something. I don't know. It just depends what you feel like for acorn. What speaks to you for acorn?
Let me go back up here. Does anything happen to coda L's?
I don't think so.
Could get a Beal for my dad.
Oh.
BIL.
Oh, Bill. I was trying to think, like, his last name isn't Beal.
It's as close as you can get.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Okay. So now our acorn word.
If you want 2 syllables, we could of course do bila, bilu, bili. So just let me know if you prefer that to be 2 syllables.
No. There we go. Just throwing that into Lexergy, created by Graham.
Go, Graham!
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Didn't realize that was how that worked.
You know that. I'll tell the rest of the world right now. My sister and her wife have a squirrel, and I'm just gonna say they have a squirrel now.
Yeah.
Because the squirrel is so accustomed to them that it literally hides its nuts inside one of their potted plants inside their house. They often leave the back door open so their dog can come and go. She's an older dog and needs her freedom. And so when the weather is nice, the back door is open, and the squirrel has decided to help itself. And it is so friendly with them that they can literally feed the squirrel acorns out of their hands. So like when they're on walks now, they collect acorns from other areas because they don't have any oak trees in their actual, block vicinity. And so when they're on their neighborhood walks, they collect acorns to bring them back for the squirrel. But when I was younger, my grandparents from Colorado would visit us in Missouri. And of course, David has seen our place in Missouri and all the oak trees around. So you can imagine, especially in early fall, how many acorns are just on the ground in our yard, like acorns everywhere. And that's why acorn made me think of my dad, because, his property is covered with acorns in this time of the year. And so my grandparents would actually come and collect from our yard all of these acorns to take back home to Colorado to feed their chipmunks, because they had lots of chipmunks in their yard.
Oh.
And, they don't have oak trees in their area of Colorado. And so they would bring them acorns to eat. And so anyway, that's what that reminded me of.
I've seen videos. It really is charming.
It's, it is something. Like and as much as I tell David not to get friendly with squirrels, here my sister is.
Uh-huh.
Feeding the squirrels out of her hand. I'll let you feed her, squirrel.
Yeah, you don't give her any kind of reprimand. Why is that?
Because if she gets bit, that's her business. I don't want you getting bit. And I have to help you clean a wound. It's, I worry about you, David. Plus, you think all animals are friendly, not just the friendly squirrels. And I feel like, I don't know, you think Roman is cute and friendly. And
Yes. Poor
he's
guy.
not.
Everybody loves him.
He's not friendly. David is steadfastly ignoring that.
Interesting.
Exactly, Juno.
So I think I'm gonna have a little bitty Polski. So if acorn is this,
Okay, now it's on screen. Okay.
pinecone could essentially be the same thing, just with more lines, like either that or maybe that. I don't know, but I want you to keep Jesse's acorn in mind.
I was trying to stare as close to my little screen as I could.
I know.
Oh, Ragdoll. I'm not saying Roman is not cute. Roman is very cute. But like David's response to getting bit is like, oh, he's such a sweet little bitey boy. And my response is very different when someone or something bites me, I guess.
Yes, a sweet little bitey boy.
I heard you over there. You're so cute. Excellent work, Patrick. Keep it nice and safe. Okay, so I'm going to come back to Trapper.
Mm-hmm.
Which now in my head has just made me think of Trapper Keeper. Which I love.
$300.
And like Trapper is really easy if to trap is just a basic root.
Yeah, but I don't think it should be. Think about something like to enclose, maybe. 150, 150, 200. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5. And huh. That's not right, is it? Is Jake here? Our Jake, darling Jake, as we like to refer to them. Half of 25 is 12.5, which is not a happy thing. Maybe. No, I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I'm making that yellow right away. So Jake, I appreciate that you like that, but you know the glyph that you've shared there, there's uniform spaces between the lines. Here, I'll try to make it so the spaces are uniform. Obviously, it can't be 12.5, but it can be 12. So, whoop.
Hey, David, we have a verbal derivation.
Wait, I think I made a mistake. Yes?
That effectively creates a verb of place. And it comes from, the derivation itself comes from land.
Yeah.
Would that be appropriate? Or, like, I'm trying to find an example verb that has this place derivation already, so that way I can understand how we were using it. But could that be appropriate if you add it to something like, because it's like you're blocking something in that place, and so it's a trap if you hold in a place or keep in a place. But is that the way that the place derivation was intended?
No.
No. Okay.
But if there was something like, think about trapper keeper. What if there was a compound verb that was like catch keep or catch hold?
Yeah.
They just both need to be small. But, catch and keep, they can each be monosyllabic roots. I think that's the best we can do with that.
If you all have some monosyllabic roots floating around in your head, let me know. I will take that into account.
All right. Which one looks more like a pine cone to you?
Oh, the second one. Oh, sorry. Were you asking the general audience?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's delightful, Ragdoll, that you were able to get your cat to stop biting. That's actually something similar. David had a similar story about their other cat, Kitty,
Mm-hmm.
who used to be a little bit more bitey, and then basically David giving her an owl look was like enough to get her to realize that she had hurt him and that she didn't want to. But Roman, on the other hand, expresses love through biting. So it's not that Roman is being mean, actually. It's just that is Roman's expression of love. And so, like, if Roman doesn't know you, Roman won't bite you. When Roman gets to know you, that's when you're in danger of being bitten. And so that's why David responds the way he does to Roman.
Tinguish has this idea about the putting a roof on something as enclosing it. That's kind of an interesting idea. Maybe an extension of cover. Against my better judgment, I will go with what Jesse thinks and the poll. Just think that it might not work at lower sizes. Let's see.
Well, if it doesn't work at lower sizes, it's just you asked me which one looked more like a pine cone, and what I was looking at, that one I felt evoked pine cone.
No, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I mean, that's a pretty small size, and you can still.
I mean, I can't see anything at that size, so
Yeah.
you could tell me that you had written me a secret message, and I will never know what that secret message is.
Mm-hmm. All right. What shall be our word for pine cone?
Looking at David's list.
Don't have anything for Tati too?
I like two.
Two. Okay. Like tuka?
Tuka? Or is that something? Were you telling me that, oh, we have uka is branch.
We do. Hold on.
Or log, I mean. I mean, not that we can't use that. It's not like...
Oh, we retain geminates in this language?
Do we?
Go to oral stop. Yeah. Yeah, we don't ever get rid of them.
Really?
Hmm.
So were you thinking tukka?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Makes me think of Finnish. Oh, how I love Finnish. Parts of my textbook have become a love letter to Finnish because I keep giving examples because I'm just so delighted by them.
All right.
And that is just protoform tukka,
Yeah.
and modern form is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And stress will be on the first syllable because of the geminate.
Oh, thank you for alerting me to that.
All right. Let's see what we're gonna
This
do.
was a pine cone. Plus ooh, I think create something.
I do like that hammer. It's pretty easy. I'm not
It does go to O. Okay, so tukka becomes tukko. Tukko. Okay, and now we're gonna have pine cone. Tukka. Delightful. Oh, nice, Magpie. Magpie's class has been talking about Finnish a lot as they work on a project for vowel harmony.
You know what? I like to use this flourish that we created more.
Ooh, when did we create that? What was that for?
Fish.
I don't even remember that, but that is delightful, David.
Yeah.
Well done.
And I would like to I would like to see it more. So applied to, you know, existing shapes that we have. And so I'm trying to think if there's anything we have here where it would make sense. Got these. I already did the sundog. Dandelion puff. Like fennel and apple tree is one where it makes sense, where one would be a flourished version of the other. Actually, I have an idea for fennel and apple tree. Maybe I'll start there. Fennel.
Okay.
We need a word for fennel.
Oh.
That is going to use something here. Bata, td, do, ku, fi, vi, si, zu,
Sifa.
sifa. Well, it actually could be any F. It doesn't matter what F it is. So I'll leave that to you. The important thing is C.
And it comes out, no matter what protoform, it would just be Sifa.
Pretty sure, yeah. There's fennel. know exactly what that's going to be, and I'll show you. Fennel is essentially going to look like psi. So we just need this character. And this.
Okay.
All right, that's at 1200. That is at negative 300. Needs to go up.
Okay, and then I had to come up with a potential set of roots. If catch is pun and hold is go in its protoform, it would become go, I think. Then trapper could be pongose.
Let's take a look. Interesting. You said pun with a voiced N?
Yeah.
If we do that, the modern form is pango with a geminate ingma.
Oh, interesting. Does the same thing happen if you do like an M?
Let's take a look. Yes.
Okay.
If you do an on one, like a suited one, pangao becomes pago with a geminate G.
Okay.
If it's different, it becomes a geminate angma. If it's the same, it becomes a geminate G.
Okay, do you like pagose? Or would you prefer something like what would happen if we did, just trying to think of catch and for something that's like pun.
No, I like that. And I like the result, the geminate angma.
You do like it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to come up with some things that sounded very different from some of the other terms that we had, and the say is going to be repeated. That's I mean that just happens.
It's fine.
We'll say. Okay. Go and then pongo.
Let's put it over here.
And then pongo with its pongo. That would be initial stress because of the geminate?
No, because oh, actually, I don't really remember. I don't remember how far back you have to look for stress. But I mean, the final syllable is heavy, so.
Oh, okay.
I think that trumps everything. That beats everything out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And now a U verb.
Patakala. I like that.
It's double umlaut. Okay. Okay. So, I added 2 to the piece, so let me update that. Trap.
I'm going to throw out another poll here. What do you like for this Fennel character? And we're going from topmost, second to top, second to bottom, bottom most. Looking at this character right here, third from the right.
Sorry, what are we looking at?
These,
Oh, the third from the right. I see.
yeah. Where's old Bibleridian at these days? Imagine he's been doing a lot of whitewashing. Yeah, fences. In preparation for winter. I think the eyes have it here.
That was the one I voted for.
Excellent.
Hey, we recently saw some lighthouses.
Sure did.
That was exciting.
Yeah, Maine has some good lighthouses, some good trees, some nice places, good little shops.
Some good yarn shops.
Mm-hmm.
David was a good sport as well. I feel like Natalie was even a better sport, as you were both very patient with me as I spent way too much time in yarn shops.
Oh, I mean, like, even if I have no direct interest in yarnery, I'm always delighted to go in.
Again, very patient, very kind.
All right. Oh, actually, did we do a picture for stick, or?
Oh, stick?
I think I know what I want stick to be.
I think I had originally done one, like during the original glyphs.
I think I'm going to use that flourish for stick.
Oh yeah, here's what I had done. Oop, as things fall.
Yeah,
But like,
it
that
actually
was just a.
kind of makes sense too. So I think we have here, we're going to use that for stick. And then use the flourish. Except that this is going to need to be at 1200.
Hey, it's a random thing. Yesterday we were in the middle of a whole lot of traveling, but David still managed to be able to watch the whole final World Series game. And
That was something.
congratulations to David's beloved team, the Dodgers, for taking the win. That was,
you know, for a 5-game series, that's one of the best World Series I've ever seen. There was so much crazy stuff that happened where it's like everything that could possibly happen in a game happened at least once.
it was good stuff. and like literally the Dodgers won as we were standing waiting to be picked up outside the airport at the end of the trip, and like you could hear fireworks going off all around us. It was crazy.
Yeah, the entire family has been Dodger fans going back certainly before when I was born. Obviously very exciting for people like my grandfather when the Dodgers moved to California, because that was our first professional baseball.
Nice. And hello, Biblaridian. I really hope that your day gets more productive. I understand. I understand, though. David, I just am now looking at this. I have been writing this out. The geminate angma, it should be NGG, not NNG, right?
No, it should be NNG.
NNG, thank goodness. That is how I did it. And now I was looking at it thinking that just looks so wrong.
Yeah,
okay.
NGG would be panga.
Gotcha. Okay, but NNG, panga.
Yeah, and we need that for this language because actually, do we ever get angma G in this language? I don't think we do.
What happens if you have N or angma with a K? Like, do you still get geminate or?
You get a geminate K.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't think it's possible to get angma G. So that's interesting. So we could spell it NGG and have that be double angma, but I think it makes more sense to
NNG.
Yeah.
Okay. As long as that matches your sensibilities, I had just I just started staring at that and felt like maybe I got something wrong. Oh, I'm gonna sneeze.
No. Bless you. Biblaridian, of course, is not a Dodgers fan. As you know, he was there in Brooklyn when the Dodgers were going to leave, and he campaigned against it. It was back when Biblaridian had both a goatee, mustache, and a monocle. We miss those days.
A goatee, mustache? You mean goatee and mustache?
Yeah, goatee, mustache, and a monocle.
Comma. Gotcha. I was trying to put them together. Okay. Oh, Jake is back. Jake. Help me think of ideas to throw at David for what we could call a druid. We have 2 druids in the beaver world. A 3-star and a 4-star. So they're pretty good in terms of druidery. The druids are magic users who use the kind of magic that are more oriented with nature, like the rabbits. I don't remember what the 3 are. David will remember.
And a better way to understand these, where are we looking at the, should I join you in the document?
Oh, sure. I'm just hanging out here by the druids. All right, so we've got grass toucher.
The better way to understand these
forest
is the primary element and their and the subsidiary elements. So what we're calling druids here, their primary element is actually water. That's the one that they all have. And then as they move up, they get the ones on either side, which would be solid and gaseous, right? And then the casters, their primary element is actually air or gas.
Okay, so caster, we need to think air. Druid, we need to think water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys had some great things here, but now we need to make it more about water. I was a little wrong there. However, I do love Magpie's idea of like a tree grow being an unchopper.
Yeah.
Let's unchop that wood. get it to go back.
Yeah, so actually,
That's amazing.
this is a change though over version 3.0 because originally, remember, um, all of them would be able to use any of their three elements. Now it's the case that each of the four existing magic using classes will only use primarily four of the six elements, and then at higher levels they get to use the double and triple. But a single magic using class will never be able to use a solid one from an adjacent class. That's new. What it means is that we're going to be losing some of our, talking about local gameplay, some of our most popular spells, including the heart fruit, because that class just doesn't exist yet. So those have to be added to the game.
Okay, so some suggestions thrown out. Something with like a flow minder or the great flow, something to do with their magic is in sort of the movement of the river. Beavers don't like flowing water, so we could actually go the opposite route and be like, they could like, they're a water stopper. They don't need to build a dam.
Water stopper. That's actually a really neat idea.
Water stopper.
So like, do we do those type of compounds where we have verb stop and then it's object? And...
I feel like we do, but I need to double check because I maybe have had my brain in a few different languages lately. River blood, water guide. These were some other ones that have been suggested. However, I am going to look now at.
I could use your notebook again.
Yeah, if you want to look at that little note.
Oops, sorry. Oh dear.
It was just in the front. It's fine. We've got. Those are just verb compounds. Noun compounds. No, that's just that. I may have to take back what I said.
You know, this is pretty low-hanging fruit, but this mound hill, I mean that essentially it would just show up as a circle, and so I think that I'll add that next. No, we need mound or hill, and we don't have that word yet. Graham's last name is Hill.
Okay, I have to take that back, what I had said, David. We actually don't have verb compounds that are really that interesting yet. Most of the verb compounds we have are reduplications, and so they're not, compounds. They're reduplications to really strengthen a small form that was otherwise used a lot of times in sort of grammatical purposes. The only verb compound that I saw that's like verb is the one we just created for to trap, to catch, keep, or catch, hold. And so we don't yet have any that incorporate an object, like river stop.
We might have to think about that more then. I have a super quick question. So Graham's last name is Hill, so I thought it might be fun to make one of the our word for hill or mound. Let's go with hill. Related to Graham, and so I was thinking we could do it for Lexergy, and I was wondering which form you thought best approximated Lexergy, because we don't have what's better for a Lexergy homage? So we got Loxy and Loxu. And it's got to be ah, because I don't think the leaks sounds enough like Lex.
This one's tough. All right. When Tinguisher... Oh, sorry.
I met Flo Rida.
What?
Yeah. He was in the green room when I was on Good Day LA. He was just so nice. Like, it was really early morning, so I was not at my best. So like I wasn't really prepared for that, but like, you know, he engaged with me. He asked me, you know, what I did, what I was going to be on the show for, and I told him, and he was like, "Oh, that's really interesting." He asked a bunch of follow-up questions. It was just, it was so nice, but yeah, it was so early. Like I wasn't ready for that.
Magpie, though, came up with a really funny one, a particularly jumpy druid known as the Twitch streamer. And so I wrote that down with a ha 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 ha.
It's like a dead heat here.
So like 11 a.m. is what Magpie is saying. You're
well
early
done.
morning. That is very well done.
What did you vote for, Jesse?
So I was kind of torn, but I ended up voting for the Laksu. Laxi felt like it paid homage to the full thing, so you get the Laxi, you know, Laxergy, you know, like you kind of get that E at the end, right? But then I was like, but if we end up having any sort of like compounding, the Laksu pays homage to the beginning of the word. I was so back and forth. I ended up just going with what my heart said at that secondary moment, but like I still like Lexi a whole lot for Lexergy. I'm so torn. I'm sorry.
All right, so Loxu, if you could add that word for hill or mound, and that is just going to be our straight. I think that might be too tall. LA. Yeah, it's too tall. There we go.
So protoform is Laksu. Sorry, Su.
Yep.
I totally did the wrong thing. Does that pull the stress to the initial syllable because it's
Yes,
a heavy?
it does.
Okay.
Yes, it does.
And
And as soon as you answer that, I have another word.
Okay.
And another word. I have two ideas that are, I think, really easy low-hanging fruit.
Wonderful.
Let me show you what I'm thinking about here. So, apple tree, I think it's going to look the same as fennel. It's just going to have an underline. And then for chisel, I think it's just going to be a cross. So I would like forms for both of those words, chisel and apple tree. Or maybe just apple. Like, I don't know. You know, since trees are so important, maybe they could actually have two different roots, one for apple and one for apple tree. Is that, I mean, I think it kind of makes sense for beavers, but is there any, does that exist anywhere in any language?
Or apple tree being the basic root, and then apple being like apple tree fruit, like a compound or a byproduct derivation.
Could, but
But I think apple
I
tree
like this idea.
could be a root, however we do apple.
Tree that bears apples. See, like Arabic, I pulled it up. That's clearly a tree of apples. There's a language called Aromanian, and it's mer. Azerbaijani has alma. Is this accurate?
I forgot to ask David.
Yeah.
We're nearing the end of the stream.
Oh,
Do we have an idea for a poll?
no. Apparently, the Romanian has the same word for apple tree and apple. Because they came from Latin melum and malus, and basically it was the same. I would love for this to be true. I don't know. I think it's the same for yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I can answer this question. But want to come up with a word for chisel real quick?
Okay.
Batati diduku fi vizu la linu no. What do you think?
Well, we can get a. Oh no, we can't do that one. Get a like tika.
We've been using that cut a lot.
Okay, so something else. I like tea though.
Gosh, I really like tika for chisel though. Doesn't it just sound like it?
Tika.
Heck with it. Tika it is. All right.
We'll back off. We're not gonna do an Ingala pool here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh, this means that the symbol for T is going to look like a T.
did not do this on purpose, I promise. I just thought it sounded cute.
It really does. It looks exactly like a T. Fantastic. All right, so back to this apple tree dilemma.
Well, Jake says our next word needs to be chicken, and then the next word after that, masala, for tikka chicken masala. So an apple tree is obviously as close as we can get to chicken.
Dino Ned.
And so, yeah.
Hi, Dino Ned. I don't think we've seen you in a little bit. It's so nice to see you.
Oh, I didn't see a Dino Ned comment. Oh, there it is. Hello. Masala would be a great word for a druid. Masala. No idea what it would mean.
Anyway, the reason why I was a little uncomfortable with a derivation for apple is because we have special words already for acorn and pine cone.
Which are byproducts. Babies, children, whatever you want to call them. And so, yeah, let's have an apple and an apple tree. Why not? I like it. Nothing to do with each other. Protoform wise. And
Or it could just be the case that the glyph that looks like an apple tree, they just use it for apple originally. I don't know. You know what I mean?
no, I think because don't they eat apples? Didn't we
Yeah.
verify this that they actually would eat apples, and then of course the apple tree they would treat differently because the bark. Like they treat them
Yeah.
as two different sources.
All right.
These are our beloved little beavers. They get to do these things, David.
Good. Okay, so then apple. Oh my gosh, and then we can do a glyph for apple as well. I know exactly what it would be. All right. Let's do it. Word for apple tree.
What do you think about like chlaz or chlaza?
For
Either, if you like them.
let's look at Lexergy.
Nothing happens to Tika, right?
I don't think
Should
so.
have asked that.
Nope, tika. Nothing happens to chlaz either.
I was trying to stay far away
That's
from
that's kind of a funky word.
chlaz.
Yeah, I want to see what would happen if that gets reduplicated. Chlazlaz. I think that our modern word for apple tree should be chlazlaz.
Okay.
This is such a funny word. But that will, it'll just originally mean apple tree. And it'll just get reduplicated for strength. All right, chlazlaz. And our word for apple, bat, with a dental T on the end.
Okay. For the word for apple tree.
Mm-hmm.
That was a voiced L in the middle, right? Chlaz.
Yep.
Okay.
Apple tree is fly.
And what was the word for apple?
B-A dental T.
And it comes out as Beth.
In the modern, yeah. Hmm. All right, we may be doing an apple tree poll. Because we're at the end and I don't really know what to do for those.
Okay. And I need to find a dental T I can copy and paste. Oh, it's 402.
Yeah.
Shnikes. Oh, there's a dental T. Bring that back to the B's. There we go. And add a B. Oops. There we have it. David, for
Yep.
the apple tree entry, because it gets reduplicated, do you want me to create a second entry for the archaic one that is no longer used?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Oh shoot, did I don't think I added that to the L's yet. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I did not. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Got all that done. Yay! Okay. We haven't discussed colors yet, and that may not be a discussion we have at all this season. We will see.
Oh yeah. Always the animals and colors. Do they see them? I thought that, as I recall, beavers were just a dark and light. Logan would have to confirm, but anyway.
Jake says, how far does the root for apple fall from the root for apple tree?
Mm-hmm.
All right, but yes, we should let you all go. For no other reason than we also need to go. David's going to work up some sort of poll here for what should occur with apple tree. And yeah, we hope you all have a wonderful end of your month and start of your next month. And we look forward to seeing you all next Thursday.
Yep.
In the meantime, stay grammar.
Bye, everybody.